jive so good. He's always acting the way he should. But when we get to the heavy metal news, we have a good time. So talk dirty to me with heavy metal hard rockin' news now. Talk dirty to me in bed tonight while we're laying there in the bed. You talk dirty in my ear. It's time to jive. Wow, that was great. Little play. My hat's falling apart. Little play on Poison there with a splash of just kind of freestyle in there. Welcome one and all back to episode 127 of Jive Talkin with Shane Diablo. It's becoming your favorite podcast. It took you a while. You listened to some. You kept stopping it and starting it, and then you were getting halfway through, and then you were making it to the comments, and you finally have decided this is one of your favorite podcasts of all time. It's just a guy catching up on the news stories of the week. And we do it every single week. I got your comments at the end. We talk about your comments from the previous episodes. So if you'd like to do that, then 127, we're here and we have confirmed it. It is now out. If you saw my Slipknot video we did earlier in the week, then you know that Eloy Casagrande is... What the hell is going on with my hat? For fuck's sakes. I got to put tape on the back of it now because it's falling apart. It could go for a good cleaning, too. I mean, if I'm being honest with you, the thing's filthy, but I wear it for work. I wear it for the podcast. I wear it for my videos. It's what I do. It's my hat. What do you think? It's some kind of silly outfit that I'm putting on? No, it's my hat. So it's the hat that I wear to work. Eloy Casagrande is officially the Slipknot drummer. This Friday we did a video, or Wednesday we did a video about a performance they did at a small place called Pappy and Mammy's down there in somewheres, California. And that skull right there, you saw this mask and look at that big skull. I mean, Jesus, you could literally take that picture and put it on that and Photoshop and do the fade out, and you would see this would match his skull perfectly. Eloy Casagrande is the new drummer for Slipknot. Release his first statement as a member. What's his number? Maybe they'll tell us. His first statement as a member of Slipknot. Thank you for trusting me. They'll probably get into all the dirty stuff, but he dropped on Sepultura right before the 40th anniversary and the farewell. Eloy Casagrande has released the first statement as a member of Slipknot. The former Sepultura drummer, whose addition to Slipknot was officially announced on Tuesday, April 30th, took to his social media today to share a photo of him in wearing his Slipknot mask and outfit. It's a jumpsuit. Don't call it an outfit. Slipknot would be pissed off. Corey Taylor and Clown would say, you don't call it an outfit. So that's Blabbermouth that called it that. And he included the following message. It's an exciting moment. Unthinkable until then. There is nothing to lose. There is nothing to win. There is just living. We're here as one. Thank you, Slipknot, for trusting me. Thanks all the maggots and fans around the world. I see you on the road. Here comes more pain. My goodness. Slipknot made its first festival appearance of 2024 Saturday night, April 27th, as one of the headliners of the Sick New World in Las Vegas, Nevada. The show marked Slipknot's second performance with Casagrandes because they played earlier. We're going to get into it, Pappy and Mammy's. Prior to the Sick New World, Slipknot played an intimate show Thursday night, April 25th, at Pappy's and Harriet's. Sorry, it's not Mammy's. Pappy and Harriet's in Pioneer Town, California. Where's that? Nice place, small town. For both the Pappy and Harriet's and Sick New World gigs, Slipknot adopted a classic look, bringing back the 1999 red jumpsuits and elements of their early masks into their modern version. tying into that fact that Slipknot is celebrating its 25th anniversary this year. I think that's clever. I think it's rude what they did to Jay Weinberg. I'll be quite frank with you on that. But I think it's clever them putting the jumpsuits back on. They haven't done that in a while. Have they? Or am I out of... they're always wearing jumpsuits, aren't they? Except for when they started doing the costumes. It's like, Sid, what are you going to be? I'm going to be a goblin that's got a cloak on. You know. After parting ways with Jay Weinberg last November, Slipknot teased fans with a hint about a new drummer nearly 2 months ago, posting a photo of a single broken drumstick online. Oh my goodness. With the caption that said, rehearsals. Who broke the stick at rehearsals? We didn't know. We know now, but we didn't know then. Who broke that stick? Everyone says online. Could it be Casagrande? We don't know. Now we know. The band explained in a statement that the split with Weinberg was a creative decision because they want to go back to they feel like Casagrande's got the speed and efficiency that Joey Jordison had. I didn't notice a single lick of difference. And that'll tell you, that'll have somebody's ass all rashed and red. That I said that I didn't really notice much difference between Weinberg and, I'll say, Casagrande. The band explained in a statement, I hope they're going to talk about Joey Jordison down here and how didn't they fire him by email. The band explained in a statement that split from Weinberg was creative decision. Jay followed up with a statement of his own, saying that he was heartbroken and blindsided by his dismissal. They love to hit you with the email. They're going to have to go, you gotta get him. He says, come on, everybody. Aren't you man enough? Get down there. I want to see you guys go crazy in the pit for Slipknot tonight. He said, we got to kick this guy out. Send him an email. Send him an email. Weinberg has since joined Suicidal Tendencies and Infectious Grooves. Casagrande abruptly quit Sepultura 3 months ago, shortly before he was supposed to begin rehearsals for the band's recently launched 40th anniversary farewell tour. It would have been nice had he fulfilled that complete obligation, went out on the final show and did that bow that they like to do, so bow down like that. You got to do 3 of them, But Clown and old Corey Taylor were probably saying, nah, bruh, ain't gonna happen. We need you for Mammy and Pappy's place. Casagrande joined Sepultura 13 years ago as a replacement for Gene Dolabella. Okay? That's the first time I've ever heard that name. I'll be frank with you. I knew the first 4 records from Sepultura. That's a lot of my death metal and thrash is basically a lot of the first 4 records from bands. But in February 2020, Sepultura singer Derek Green told Australia's Ever Black Media that Casagrande had a tremendous impact on the group since he joined in 2011. It's undeniable because he's such a strong force. He loves playing metal music. He's one of the most talented drummers I've seen, honestly. That power is consistent from beginning to end. It really has rubbed off on all of us to really push ourselves further. He's such a perfect match for the band. Oh, boy. Boy, what would we do if we lost old Casagrande over here in the Sepultura world? Could we do? He really is always influencing us in so many ways to really go beyond, above and beyond. So maybe maybe Corey and Clown read this bit of this article from Derek Green, and he went, really? He's really influencing him above and beyond? Really? Send him an email. Clown, get over there. Send him an email. As soon as you get done firing Weinberg, send Eloy an email. Slipknot's latest album, The End So Far, arrived in August 2022. It marked the band's last full-length LP before the departure of both keyboardist Craig Jones, who left the group in June 2023, and Hwangberg. And you can't see this photo. It says official Slipknot photo. Something, but you got to go view it on Instagram. We're not going to do that. Phil Demmel, he wants to tell you a little bit about Kerry King. He says, that guy's got a real douchebag kind of an attitude. People think he's a real douche, that guy. But he's a sweetheart. He's a nice guy. But everyone thinks he's a douche. Asshole. I've had that too. I've had so many people in my life say the structure of your face, your bones and the structure of your face makes you look like an asshole. And when I first met you, I thought, oh boy, here comes this guy. He's going to be a real asshole. And then they meet me and then they go, but you weren't an asshole at all. It always makes me feel really good. Because I always wait till the end of their stories to wait to see if they say, and you are still an asshole. Or if they go, but you're not an asshole. So I listen intently to their stories. But Phil here, he's going to say, look, he is not an asshole, nor a douche. He is a really nice guy. Phil Demmel says Kerry King's asshole reputation is undeserved. He's a nice dude. On a recent episode of the Talk Louder podcast, another good reason to listen to this podcast is most of this stuff is clipped from other podcasts. So in a sense, you just listen to this and you can get the whole nuts and bolts of 15 podcasts. You don't have to go listen to 15 hours worth of that. You just listen to 1 hour of this. On a recent episode of Talk Louder podcast, hosted by veteran music journalist Metal Dave Glessner, a lifelong hard rock metal vocalist, Jason McMaster, Dangerous Toys. Oh, he's on there? Oh, okay, so Metal Dave and Jason McMaster. Phil Demmel spoke about his working relationship with Kerry King in the Slayer's guitarist recently unveiled solo project. The 57-year-old San Franciscan Bay Area-based musician, who has previously played with Machine Head and Violence, said as transcribed by the Blumenhain, if there's one thing that I know with Kerry is exactly where he stands and exactly what he's feeling. I'm an empath. Got some psychic abilities. I can feel their vibrations. I know exactly what he's feeling. He has his agenda, of course, but there's no meandering around with the point he's going to try to get to, and there's no steps being set up to ... He continued. Look, Kerry gets the stigma of being a fucking asshole. Fucking douchebag, some people have called him. Fucking asshole. Or a fucking dick. They've called him that too. And he's not. He's a nice dude. And he's an empathetic dude, because I can read those vibes. He's a caring guy about stuff. It's not like he's this hardened dick. It's not like he's this hardened dick and blah, blah, blah. There's just no filter there where he just says, no, I don't like that. Or I can't do this because blah, 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 blah. And it's just straightforward, man. And I wish people would kind of understand that about other people. It's not him being a fucking, a dish. It's not him being a fucking, maybe it could be considered a dick. A hardened dick, some would say. But that's not his intent. He's just like, I'm not fucking around. I'm not going to bullshit you. What does Kerry King laugh about? If he sits down and watches a TV program, what makes him giggle? Well, wouldn't you be interested in knowing that? What makes Kerry King giggle? Does that guy laugh out loud? Or is he one of those where, someone says something, he kind of just shakes in his seat a little bit and they go, oh, we got him. We got Kerry over there. Does he have kids? I think he's got a lot of snakes. Kerry King's debut solo album, From Hell I Rise, will be released on May 17th via Reigning Phoenix Music. All material for the LP was written by the 59-year-old musician, who was accompanied during the recording sessions by guitarist Demmel, drummer Paul Bostaff, Slayer, bassist Kyle Sanders, hell yeah, and vocalist Mark Asigueda, Death Angel, helming the sessions at Henson Recording Studios in Los Angeles last year. Is that where they... I want to say that's where they did We Are the World. It used to be, Miss Althea, didn't you say something? Henson Recording Studios used to be A&E, A&M. In Los Angeles last year was producer Josh Wilbur, who has previously worked with Korn, Lamb of God, Avenged Sevenfold, and Bad Religion. I don't want to be a global citizen, nationality. What was that? We got the American Jesus, him on the end. Anyone? Bad Religion? If you want to hear a great tune from Bad Religion, and I know Korn, Lamb of God, Avenged Sevenfold, whatever. Hail to the King. If you want to hear a great tune that's kind of out of the wheelbarrow of Bad Religion stuff, because they kind of have that social distortion thing where a lot of their stuff sounds the same, but it's pretty good. Check out this song called Lose Your Head. Don't lose your head before you lose your head, yeah. Really good. You'll love it. You'll love it. Trust me. Nearly 3 months ago, Demmel shared an Instagram live video, oh boy, in which he spoke about how he ended up being approached to join Kerry's new band. He said, the way this came about on my end, okay, was Slayer was on its way through the San Francisco Bay Area during the band's farewell tour. And they played San Jose. I think it was with maybe Napalm Death opened. Fucking A, baby. That one and Lamb of God, and maybe even Testament. That would have been a hell of a show. I think it was maybe the last day of the leg of the tour. And this was maybe the summer of 2018, and I knew that I was on my way out of Machine Head. And I had did Rob Flynn know? And I had approached Kerry kind of like, hey, we mentioned this stuff before. Hey, what are you doing after Slayer ends? What do you got going on? And he was kind of like, I'm sure I'm going to keep playing with Paul. I'm probably going to ask then Slayer guitarist Gary Holt to play with me in a new band as well. And that was about it. And so fast forward to my announcing that I was quitting Machine Head in September 2018, and the same damn day, Kerry shoots me a text. Like, that's why you were asking me what I was doing next. So it's no secret to Kerry that that's what I was interested in doing after. And when the call came to fill in for Gary at several Slayer shows in Europe in December 2018, and the way that I came through, and that's why I came through for them. They knew that. I came through in that spot. Really showed those guys a lot, quite frankly. So Kerry and me, I remember, we are at a Raiders game. And we're dressed in all the black, the makeup, the helmets and everything. We got all that stuff on. I was going to say garb, but no, it's stuff. It's outfits. I remember we were at a Raiders game against Denver, which was probably 2019, that he had said, hey, this is what I'm thinking. And where he committed to me being in the band. So it was pretty fucking awesome. Phil continued, so I've been waiting since August of 2019 to be able to announce that I was in Kerry's new band. A couple of people knew. Kerry wanted it to be a secret. So we didn't kind of share. So that was 4.5 years of holding on to the secret. Some would say that it was the best, worst kept secret of the worst, best kept secrets. But we're all pretty stoked to get this started. Regarding how From Hell I Rise came together and his contributions to the album, Phil said, Kerry wrote all the music. He wrote all the lyrics because he wants them Benjis. You guys will be getting paid a salary to be in this band. He wrote all the music and all the lyrics. You will be getting paid salaries. They had pretty much all of it done for a while, him and Paul. Okay, well, maybe Paul will get a taste. He'll get a writing credit. Him and Paul worked on it, everything, and he sent me parts. It was the slowest of the slowest rolls that I've ever been involved in. Just due to the quarantine and the singer search, so it took a bit. And it's taken a bit for all of those reasons. I mean, there was a reason for all of it. So we got to the point to where all of us, the guys in the band, were like, have you heard anything? No, I haven't heard anything. Have you heard anything, Mark Osigueda? It was almost like the swimming instructor when you're learning how to swim. And then the instructor keeps backing up. Come on, you can make it over to me. Swim to my arms, child. Swim to me. Most people don't go to swim instructors, they go to their parents. Swim to me, son. Come, son. Come here, you can do it. I can't do it, Daddy. I'm sinking, Daddy. No, son. Flap those arms, swish them feet, you'll make it to me. And we're swimming, and you're swimming, and you're swimming. And they keep backing up. Yeah. And it was all worth it. They recorded the record. I was structuring solos at home. I have a home studio, and I was constructing my leads. Who was the one who was talking about how they just let him rip out? Oh, that was Ace Frehley. He says, "No, I don't write a solo. I just let him rip out of me. That's how I write them." And I had them done for a bit. And he'd give me a couple of more. Hey, what do you want to see if you can come up with something over here? So he wasn't even letting you hear the full songs. He was sending you a riff and saying, put a fucking solo on it. That doesn't sound douchey. Hey, why don't you see if you can come up with something over here? And I wrote a couple of little harmony bits that you don't hear a lot in Slayer, so I think that's what sets this band apart, other than Mark's vocals, of course, is the melody and some of my... Mark's vocals is the melody in your solo sometimes, I guess. I wrote a few things and I sent them to him. And the solo you hear in Idle Hands is the first one that I wrote. And so I had to ask him, I said, are you going to be okay with my style? It's kind of different than from what late Slayer guitarist Jeff Henneman and Gary had done. And he was digging it. Dude, he was totally freaking digging it. So I was glad that was the case. Because it's kind of what I am and what I can bring. You know, he's just saying, some people's faces just look like that. Okay, let's get on to this. Here's another guy that's got a scowl. Glen Benton. Do you know who Glen Benton is? We're doing a little death metal here. Again, first 4 records. I can't name them right now. I can name, was a self-titled. What was the one? Triflictiflong. What was the one before that? Or after that? It's the bed sheet with the Heavenly Father, and he's under the bloody bed sheet. But anyways, we're getting into this because old Glen Benton, they're going to give us some backstories, and like the only way Blabbermouth knows how to do. But he says, all we have is a bunch of wannabe Weezer-looking dudes trying to play metal. And I've listened to some of the new Deicide record, and it is very, very good. I saw a quick clip from Glen Benton talking in an interview where he said he does not and never has listened to other death metal. Obituary, putting out records. All these bands putting out these records that I never listened to it. Because I don't want to I don't want anything getting stuck in my head. So perhaps that's why they're still putting out some pretty tasty stuff. Is he's not tainted by listening to other stuff. I can't remember what he said he'd like to listen to, but let's see what he gets on about. Who's he talking about with the Weezer metal? In a new interview with Francisco Zamudio of Knack.com, Deicide frontman Glen Benton spoke about some of his earliest musical influences that got him on the path of playing extreme metal. He said, "Ever since I was a little kid, man, I remember, I even have it in my files upstairs in my boxes. I was asked as a small child, man, like when I was 11, 12 years old, whatever. They asked me what I wanted to be, and I put down exactly what the hell I am right now. I put down exactly what the hell I am right now. So, I had a long-term goal, man. Even when I was a little kid. It's what I wanted to do. I grew up, man, watching bands and listening to all kinds of music. I was exposed to music at a really young age. My uncle was a drummer. He had guitars hiding in the closet all the time." What? He had guitars were hiding in closets? He had guitars hiding in closets all the time, and I was around that a lot. The closet? And not that Dad did it for me, but when I was a little kid and I heard Black Sabbath the first time, it was all over, man. It really was all over, man. I remember being at a breakfast table, 7:30. My dad was military. We had to be at the table at 7:30. In the morning with my boombox blasting Paranoid. No, his dad wasn't military then. He ain't gonna let young Glen be blasting Paranoid. You blasting it at your mom, Glen? 7:30 in the morning with my boombox blasting Paranoid at my mother. I was a huge Sabbath, huge Ronnie James Dio fan, man. Fucking hey, dude. You got good taste. And that era of metal, when they had Judas Priest and all that stuff from that era, man. Lamenting the state of the metal scene in 2024, Benton said, "Metal was metal back then. Metal right now, you have so many subcategories of metal now. It's ridiculous." He's not wrong. Sometimes I bend my brains. And I don't even know why I'm trying to file songs away that way, but he's not wrong. I understand individualism in that. And we can really use a lot more frontmen like that, like Ozzy Osbourne and Ronnie and all them people, Lemmy and that. We don't have that anymore. All we have is a bunch of wannabe Weezer-looking dudes trying to play metal. Everybody's sporting black frames glasses, huh? And wearing trucker caps? What? Fuck you, Glen. He's talking about me. What? He's literally talking about me. He's going to hear this and he's going to say, "Yeah, I am talking about you, you little prick." Everybody's sporting black frame glasses and wearing trucker caps, but I don't play in rock bands. Nobody gives a shit about imagery anymore. Hello? Everyone does. Slipknot, Ghost, Gwar. Fucking half the bands we do on here. Lord of the Lost, Battle Beast, Lordy. You want me to keep going? What are you talking about? Image. Nobody gives a shit about imagery anymore. I mean, okay, let's be fair here. What's the imagery that Deicide's putting off? It's four big dudes with a big Deicide banner behind them. I can't shake it, man. I'm never going to fall into that. I've always been that way. Ooh, too. About the guys on stage, man. You're not gonna come out there watching a fucking plaid shirt and white tennis shoes. It's not happening. Deicide's new album, Banished by Sin, was made available on April 26th via the Raining Phoenix Music. Raining Phoenix Music putting out a lot of stuff. Who were we just talking about? Kerry King, he's on that label. Deicide's on that label. Isn't Motley Crue's new music coming out on that label? This past February, Deicide released the second single from the Banished by Sin, a song called Sever the Tongue. The track was recorded at Smoke and Mirrors with the engineer Jeremy Kling, while the mixing and mastering was handled by Josh Wilbur, whom did what that we just talked about? Idle Hands. They going to mention something about that? Or what are they called? Not Idle Hands, but Kerry King Band. Deicide collaborated with David Brodsky from My Good Eye Music Visuals for a visually arresting video of the Sever the Tongue that complements the track's blasphemous undertones. Really? You're telling me Deicide does things blasphemous songs? To close out 2023, Deicide celebrated Christmas with another blasphemous song called Bury the Cross with Your Christ. My heavens. Glen! Wasn't he supposed to, I know this is probably not going to be in here, but anybody remember him burning the cross in his head and shit and then talking about how when he turned 33, the age of Jesus, he was going to, or is that all just hearsay? Or what do they call that? Folk tales, wise tales. But I remember that being something where it's like, the singer for Deicide is fucking nuts. He's burned a inverted cross into his forehead, my friend, and claims that he's going to crucify himself at the age of 33. I don't know. Get in the comments, tell me all that. Deicide played its first show with new guitarist Taylor Nordberg, The Absence and Inhuman Condition, on May 21st, 2022 at the Rickshaw Theatre in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. There you go. Nicky Six, there he is. Looking a bit thinner there. Feeling good, feeling spry. Let's see, when's this going up? All right, I'm going to go ahead and give you a spoiler. Dogs of War tomorrow. If I'm thinking properly about all this, yes. Motley Crue, Dogs of War, first listen tomorrow. So I will refrain from anything that may give any kind of thing away. There's a cherry sparkling water this time. Cherry Obituary. Not bad. Not bad. Nicky Six says Motley Crue made the right decision hiring Jonathan Five to replace Mick Mars. It feels like a family on stage. It feels like our family is on that stage. I tell you true. In a new interview with Josh Klinger of Chicago's Rock 95.5 radio station, Motley Crue bassist Nicky Six spoke about the band's latest single, Dogs of War, which was made available last Friday, April 26th, via Motley Crue's new deal with Nashville's Big Machine Records. So it's not the same. When Klinger noted that the track doesn't initially sound like Crue, and it don't, Six, he concurred, saying as transcribed, that opening verse was purposeful. I remember playing it for Def Leppard's Joe Elliott. I did a short about Joe Elliott. Some lady was scammed out of $11,000, thought she was talking to Joe Elliott of Def Leppard online. And he was saying, I'm leaving my wife, so I need you to go down and buy hundreds of thousands of dollars tens of thousands of dollars in gift cards and send me the codes to him. I guess she started thinking that Joe Elliott was going to leave his wife and go live with her or something. That verse, that opening verse, it was purposeful. I remember playing it for Def Leppard's Joe Elliott. He's the lead singer for the band. And he was like, oh, wow, oh, that's cool. Like, it's like unexpected. Part of being a songwriter is to do the unexpected, not to always do the expected. I hope Joe said that to him. I don't pursue around, what? What's that word, guys? I don't peruse. I don't peruse around a lot online and read a lot of comments. But every now and then I do. And it's always like, you need to make a record that sounds like Looks to Kill. I don't think you got there. He continued, and I'm like, I understand that, because Aerosmith is my favorite band. I'm like, you guys need to make a record like Rocks again. But the point is of being an artist is that you evolve. And sometimes you lose people, and sometimes you gain people. Sometimes you lose, sometimes you gain. But you can't just be stuck in a rut, because people tell you to be stuck in a rut. Has anyone ever uttered the words, I need you to be stuck in a rut? I don't think so. If you want to be that consistent thing that always sounds the same, some of my favorite bands are like that. AC/DC's one of them. Bad Religion's one of them. Social Distortion's one of them. I like the tunes that I know, but I can't talk too much about Social Distortion. But that's not who Motley Crue is. So that's, in a sense, a compliment when you're like, wow, at first it didn't sound like Motley Crue. The whole idea is for someone who likes Motley Crue to go, oh, let me listen to this a few times. This is different. And then, well, you got to say, oh, I need to listen to it a few times, because you got to get them Spotify pennies. You can't say listen to it once and then don't ever listen again. Although that'd probably work. It'd probably make it go viral. If Nikki Sixx posted, hey, please do me a favor, listen to this once. Don't ever listen to it again, please. I'm begging you, please. It's got to sound serious, like he does not want you to do it. And then you go ahead and do it. And then he goes, 50 million streams. Let's see. Come on, Motley Crue. So that's, in a sense, a compliment when you're like, wow, it didn't sound like Motley Crue. The whole idea is for someone who likes Motley Crue to go, oh, let me listen to that a few times. This is different. And then you realize, as long as Crue vocalist Vince Neil is singing, is that what he's doing? It sounds like Motley Crue. There's no way around it. We could do a pop song and it'd sound like Motley Crue with him singing. I'd give money to see Vince Neil do that. This ain't Texas. This ain't Harlem. Yeah. Sixx also discussed the addition of John Five, the five-man John Five Alive, to Motley Crue's lineup. John Five joined Motley Crue in the fall of 2022 as the replacement for the band's co-founding guitarist Mick Mars. Mick announced his retirement from touring with Motley Crue in October 2022 as a result of worsening health issues. We don't want to go through all that rigmarole. Let's see what he says about John, though. John's been around with me for a while. They talk on the phone all the time. Sometimes, Johnny Five says, sometimes they talk for hours. Nikki Sixx says, I had him write a song with me and Desmond Child for Meatloaf called The Monster Is Loose. And I put him on the 6 a.m. song he wrote with me called Lies of the Beautiful People. Boy, that's just a terrible name for a song, isn't it? Lies of the Beautiful People. These are the lies of the beautiful people. Where they go, what they do, I don't know, but they're lying, which was a big song for the band. And I wrote, it was? Okay. Which was a big song for the band, and I wrote a lot of Motley Crue's The Dirt soundtrack songs with him. And he actually played guitar on those songs. The majority of those guitars are John. That was just because of the inability to get the songs recorded with Mick. Okay. Is that a little dig? John was kind of like easy prey for us. It was perfect. It was like, well, he's a friend, And he knows the band, and he loves the band. Right, Vince? Yeah. Tommy?
Oh, yeah, he loves us. You can take that to the bank, bro.
It was like, well, he's a friend. He knows us, loves us. And I talked to the band about it because we were put in a horrible situation. I mean, you've got to imagine how much of my life is dedicated and Tommy Lee, crew drummer, and Vince Neil's life. When we were basically told that our guitar player's leaving the band. And we had to really think hard about it. We were like, okay, do we let concert promoter Live Nation down? Do we let Live Nation down, Vince? Hell no. What about you, Tommy?
No freaking way, dude. I gotta see them titties at the concerts.
Do we pull off the tour and kind of screw Def Leppard over, boys? Do we do that, boys? But what about our families? What about our families? And our fans, guys? So, we had to make a really hard decision and feel like we made the right decision. Sometimes you've got to make hard decisions. And the decision was made to carry on. And forget about the contract we all signed saying we would quit touring and never do that again. We've shredded it. We put it through the official shredder. Motley Crue officially licensed shredder. And I'm glad we did. We didn't just wing it. John had been around with us in different versions of playing, whether it was with me or other stuff, so it was hard, but the right thing to do. And now there's kind of a new lifeblood because we're out on the road. And then, of course, it's a nice energy amongst me and Tommy and Vince because we've known each other for 43 years. Isn't that right, boys? Oh, yeah.
You know it, dude.
And bringing in somebody else, it feels comfortable for us. It feels like a family on stage. Not that old ratty old meanie. That Mick Mars was such a meanie. We're not going to get into this. We're moving on, guys. We're not getting into Mick Mars's complications. All right? And we've already been through it. And you guys are going to tell me down in the comments, we know it already. Let's get into this. Dave Mustaine, really quickly. We're going to just really quick do this. He says that Timu, right as Kiko Loureiro, is getting ready to put all of that Megadeth stuff up on Reverb for sale. Get rid of all of it. He's getting rid of his buttons, his pins, his hats, his glassware, all of it. Everything Megadeth related, he's selling. Dave Mustaine says, Timu Montessori is a mad scientist on guitar. He's a mad scientist on the guitar. Megadeth's Dave Mustaine has spoken fondly about his bandmates, saying that they have become such good friends. We got Timu fit for a jiu-jitsu outfit. The 62-year-old Megadeth leader, who is the sole remaining original member of the group, addresses his relationship with his current bandmates while checking in on social media for Megadeth's Latin American tour on Monday, April 29th. He wrote,
we have had the most righteous time down here in Latin America. Oh, the fans have been insanely loud. Every city has had a different set list, and we're practicing our fingers off on this tour. We hope that the fans got to hear their favorite songs, as well as some deeper tracks that we haven't played for some time. Fast forward to today, I was looking down at some papers on a hotel suite desk and noticed something different about the room list. It stated that we are going home from here, and I always feel melancholy when we do. Oh boy, the four of us have become such good friends. And we are all thriving together in Megadeth, if I may elaborate.
oh, he's gonna tell us about all of them? Guys, we might have to cut the ghost thing. We were going to look at the. They're going to have a movie coming out called Right Said Fred or something. I can't remember, but he's going to elaborate on each and every member. We have to do this.
If you don't mind, I would like to elaborate on each and every member of the band. Dirk Verbeuren is an amazing drummer, and I often wonder how I got so fortunate to play with him. He's a lot like late Megadeth drummer, rest in peace, Gar Samuelson. He is a wonderful, humble man who I've learned a lot from.
Oh, he's getting into James Lomenzo. Of course, you know James Lomenzo used to be in White Lion, but more also well known from season, it turns out it's like 22 or 23 of Amazing Race.
James Lomenzo on bass has been our anchor and my mentor for singing out here. He is a killer bassist who sings so confidently that I can easily accept direction and criticism from him. I will accept criticisms from James. He has learned every song we play live, note for note, and I love seeing him every morning out there.
I think this is good for Dave. He has written out, does he do that? He's written a paragraph and then he's going to parlay that into all four members' paragraph down here.
Now, I can't say enough about Teemu Mantasari, guitarist. And I don't have to. Because you have no doubt seen footage of us together. He is a mad scientist on guitar. He plays all previous guitarists' parts effortlessly with finesse and the utmost respect for his predecessors. Ooh.
This is very sweet, Dave. I'm tearing up. Guys, I'm tearing up. He's being a sweetheart here. Oh, and oh gosh, I'm loving the bottom, guys. If you can see what I can see, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Doo-doo-doo. Now he's going to parlay. What he's done here is he's spoken about Dirk. He has spoken about James and Teemu, and now he's going to maybe throw a little compliment in for himself, because he didn't give a Dave, paragraph. But this is where he'll hit the four.
The four of us playing and going over songs every day, reviewing, perfecting, and building up our repertoire to play for you. By the time we reach Europe this summer, we will have even more songs added to provide the variety to our playlist of songs played in concert.
He didn't say a word about himself.
Well, that's it for now. I have to get some rest for my body. Oh, sometimes when my body's sore, I like to get into a nice hot tub of cocoa butter and just soak for a while. Tomorrow we are going to take back the night in San Salvador. Mother Nature tried stopping us last time with insane winds and sideways torrential rains. But the sun is out, and we're back. Hasta mañana, chicos.
Megadeth recently announced a North American tour, Destroy All Enemies. Produced by the one and only Live Nation, support the 33-city trek, which includes stops in Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Boston, and St. Louis. The support will come from Mudvayne and All That Remains. The tour begins in Rogers, Arkansas on August 2nd and runs throughout the month before wrapping up in Nashville, Tennessee on September 28th. There you have that. There he is. There's Papa Emeritus. Ooh, we're just going to really quick, guys, right here, right now, to arrive in cinemas in June. They're going to have a movie. Do you remember when we talked about Ghost? They asked people not to put their phones up. One of those episodes in the past. They didn't, in Los Angeles, they said no filming at the shows. And everyone's like, oh, that sucks, man. Well, Trafalgar Releasing today announced worldwide theatrical distribution plans for Right Here, Right Now. And not a Van Hagar member in the whole thing, right? Sammy ain't going to serve him a drink or something. That'd be great if that happened. The unique feature-length film combines never-before-seen 2023 concert footage of Grammy Award-winning rock band Ghost with a narrative story that picks up plot threads from the band's long-running Chapters series. If you've watched them on their YouTube channel, the little story bits. Directed by Ghost's Tobias Fjord and Alex Ross Perry, Her Smell. Alex Ross Perry did the movie Her Smell. Do you know that? Is it a porno? Right Here, Right Now will launch in cinemas globally on June 20th and June 22nd only. That's what they call that. A short run. Full trailer launch and cinema tickets will be available beginning Thursday, May 9th. So we're not going to see that for a few more days. At least the trailer of it. Right Here, Right Now is, however, okay, I don't want to read that. Guys, I don't want to read it. I'm sorry. I don't want to read it. We're getting into your comments. That's right. It is time for your comments, your fine comments, which I love to get into each and every week. And you got Mike Buchanan here with his master list. I mean, that's longer than any goddamn book report that I ever did in school in my life. But that's okay. Mike Buchanan, this is a first for me. I watched this, well, rather listen to this on my drive home from my daughter's college last Saturday. I really got the podcast experience. Oh, are you talking about this one? So you listened to it on the way home, so you just had the audio version, and you were like, my God. On this week's Movies That Are Bad, But We Love Them Anyways, House. Is that the one with the Greatest American Hero? He's going to say something about it, isn't he? House, 1986. Yes, my second House movie. Right. Still have no idea what the hell happened in the Japanese Hasu. Yes. It's the only thing I know how to say correctly in Japanese. Miss Althea will be very proud of me for that. Is the movie Hasu. If you are a child of the 80s, you probably are familiar with House, as you probably rented this on a Friday night and sat in your friend's basement with all of your friends and ate junk food while getting your scare on. This one stars William Catt, the Greatest American Hero, one of the best TV shows that didn't get a chance. I agree, Tubi has all of them. They're really hard to watch. They're painful to watch. But I loved that TV show when I was a kid. But just the dialogue, the acting, just everything about it. You know, and those kids in his class are just assholes. As a writer who through the death of his aunt inherits her house, for a guy reeling from... Okay, I'm going to read that again. Greatest American Hero, best TV show that didn't get a chance. As a writer who, through the death of his aunt inherits her house, for a guy reeling from the combined emotional trauma of his experiences in the Vietnam War, a fresh divorce, and the recent disappearance of his child, William Catt is having a surprisingly fun time chasing ghosts around his spooky estate. Yeah. If you go into House looking for consistent narrative flow and chills on par with its particular well-designed poster, man, you are really sounding like a reviewer. I am very happy with this. Which evokes a classic Goosebumps cover, you'll probably be disappointed. It's got plenty of practical monster effects, but they're never really much of a threat or even particularly spooky. Virtually everything is played off as a joke at Cat's expense. Despite protagonists with a whole host of deep-seated issues that could be... You're taking time on these, baby. That could have been played up. And to some extent, it is about coming to terms with the past. House maintains a perpetually goofy tone, but it never pretends to be much else and does have plenty of entertaining variety in its supernatural dangers. Imaginative, goofy, and light on explanation. This is the kind of horror movie to get kids into the genre. From a young age without throwing them into the deep end. The broken mirror practical effect and George Wendt, Norm from Cheers, George Wendt's comic relief role are both high points. Other notes of interest of this movie. Director also gave us Friday the 13th. Really? That's Sean Cummings. Friday the 13th, part 2. You just pat. Is that Friday the 13th, Pat? Part 2, Part 3, as well as Soul Man. Let's just forget the movie ever happened. Yeah. Soul Man that had old, don't tell me, Tom G. Warrior. No, he's got something that, E. Thomas Howell. C. Thomas Howell. Is it C. Thomas Howell? Yeah. And he wants to get into an all African American college. So what does he do? Grab your favorite popcorn, and that's Soul Man. And we got to hit it with the line here. I mean, he has done a fantastic job. This is like something I would hear old god dang, what's his name? That reviewer, the big movie reviewer. Grab your favorite beverage, sit in your favorite chair, pop some popcorn, and press play. I mean, you've got the skills there. Get on a camera, start a damn thing, and do it. Mike Buchanan on Sebastian. While I think him coming back to Skid Row would be awesome, I don't think it's going to happen. Not getting involved with any drama. And he's talking about Matt Cameron here. Soundgarden drummer says that he got a cease and desist letter from Paul Stanley for his 13-year-old Kiss band. Yeah, don't care, he says. Not being a fan of Soundgarden at first, I was like, Matt, who? And it doesn't surprise me that Kiss would be that petty. I mean, but the 13, wouldn't that be crazy if it like finally leaked out or something that Paul Stanley sends cease and desist letters to everyone that wears the Kiss makeup on when they go to the concerts? So, get her name. Yeah, get all their names. Get all their names and addresses, because they're all getting letters. Mike Buchanan on Vince. I'm thinking that Motley Crue should have released that country rap song they talked about instead of what the travesty they call music Dogs of War. Uh-oh. Sorry, I know you weren't talking about the new music, but the country rap kind of fits in with the rodeo, right? That is interesting that you say, the travesty. Mike Buchanan on Wolf. Is that the Wolf Van Hagar? Being the only original member left, Wolf Hoffman of Accept. Being the only original member left, I guess he gets to talk about the band. Now, Humanoid is a fantastic album. Probably their best since Mark Torillo joined the band. Really? I swear to God, anytime I think of Accept Now with Mark in it, I think, don't drink the Kool-Aid. If you ever want to hear a song about the cult massacre of an entire, hundreds of people, many hundreds of people, drink the Kool-Aid song, Jim Jones, go listen to that. Except don't drink the Kool-Aid. There's a great line in there that he says about, we're gonna mix it up, add the cyanide. Mike Buchanan on Robert Trujillo. I had the privilege of seeing Cliff live with Metallica when they were still an opening band. Yes. I couldn't believe what he could do with a bass. I've also seen Jason and Robert with Metallica. I've seen Jason twice. 3 times. 4 times. I've seen him 4 times. No, 3 times. But I've never seen Robert. I've also seen Jason and Robert with Metallica. Jason, while a great bass player, was kind of boring to watch. Robert is more entertaining to watch. He does that spider crawl all over the place. He's all over the stage. That's what Mike said. And now, how would you guys like some jokes of the week? Couple of giggles here. This is all extra. This is all gravy on top of a fantastic episode. Every week you get these jokes that you go tell your friends. You say, you should go listen to Shane Diablo on Jive Talkin with Shane Diablo, and then you bust off a couple of Mike's jokes. They're in. They'll never miss another episode. What kind of exercise do lazy people do? Diddly squats. I used to be in a band called Missing Cat. You've probably seen our posters. That one I might take to work. Did you hear that Willie Nelson just got hurt playing on the road again? What? Did you hear that Willie Nelson just got hurt playing on the road again? So I was watching the Bermuda Philharmonic Orchestra last night. Such a great relaxing evening when suddenly the guy on the triangle disappeared. I knew it when I saw Bermuda. I says, okay, there's going to be a connection to the Bermuda Triangle. And it was the triangle guy that disappeared. I remember getting the best Christmas present I ever got, a broken drum. You just can't beat that. And finally, what do you call karate for amputees? Have you seen that little fella that's getting his black belt or whatever, and he's got no limbs? It's all over the internet. What do you call karate for amputees? Partial arts. I know, I'll go stand in the corner. Yeah, shame. Don't stand in the corner in the middle of the woods in an old house, though. Because you know what happens if you're in the middle of the woods and you find an old house and you go stand in the corner? I don't need to tell you. You're the horror movie nut. I don't need to tell you. Here's your heart. Russ, or Rob. I think it's Rob, because it says user KI10, Rob or something like that says, once again, Diablo does not deliver the goods on this interview. A true waste. Get him off the air. I think this fella thinks that when you see the thing that says like Phil Demmel, Deicide, Megadeth, I think people might be thinking that I'm doing interviews with all those people instead of just reading the news clips about them. For that, I apologize. I'm going to give you a heart. I feel bad for an insult, because I feel like I'm letting you down, but I've got to give you that heart. Look at Miss Althea down here. Let's get to her comments. She's got 2 thumbsy upsies already. There's no thing to click on here that says more. Miss Althea. What am I missing something? Do you see that? It's clicked off. What is this going to do? Miss Althea, I don't know what the hell's happening. Let's see what this reply says. I find myself late night watching Tubi and going down the rep. All right, well, I'm just going to read this and see what the hell happens here, because I'm only seeing just a bit of it. Miss Althea, the dumbstruck fool says, Sebastian Bach, only a business side, quote, quote, preventing Skid Row from reuniting, huh? That usually translates to assorted legalities, royalty splits, etc., etc. Not that I am a diehard Skids fan, but I honestly have a hard time believing there isn't anything more to it. It will be interesting to see how this plays out, and you are absolutely correct in your memory about downtown Julie Brown hosting at least ... What the hell? I don't know what to do. All right, Miss Althea, there's your heart. And then Scott comes in down here. Great Cliff Burton story, bro. That's wild. I didn't get to see Metallica for the first time until about 1995. Well, you're probably a younger guy. That's all right. You got to see it, didn't you? Miss Althea, I don't know what the hell happened. What if I hit that? Yeah. It just dots off there. Maybe she's like, maybe Den said, honey, dinner's ready. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Let's go, let's go to have some dinner. And then the computer went, waited for a while and said, she must be finished with comment. I will just post. That's the way it is with the AI these days. That's the way it is. I want to get a tune. I want to bust something off like that's unbelievable. Love that. All right, baby, we're going to do it. Baby, baby girl, you're rocking my world, baby girl. Rocking my world. I can't believe I managed to hit every bad note. Not one of them is in tune. Oh, girl, oh, yeah, I love you, I love you. What do you love about me? I love your jive talking, honey sweet. You're so good at the news. Sit in the shade with a lemonade. Every one of them. Jive talking, baby girl, are you talking to me about my jive talking? It's so great, you see. You let me got a nice juicy booty and you love it.